Okay, sorry for the wait, everybody. Had to wash my face and then, put some cocoa butter on it so it wouldn't be wouldn't be dry. But good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to yet another live stream of People's Choice, where you guys send me in videos that you would like for me to react to every other Saturday. So, I figured this ought to be fun today. Now, depending on the amount of videos that we have, this could or could not be a bit of a long session. But we'll see. First up is sent in by Kitty, caught in 4K, lightning going full rage mode. And this is 25 minutes of lightning strikes from someplace. So let's go ahead and full screen it. Also, this video comes from Mind Warehouse. You guys can see you down there. Very easy for you guys to find them because I said where it was from. Right there. Make sure I ain't got nothing on my face. Am I good? I think I'm good. Okay, let's get started.
Hello, everyone. There's nothing quite as awe-inspiring as lightning. It's equally...
Hold up.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Like, look at the amount of flash coming from just one strike to the boat. Like, look at that. That's not AI. That's not CGI. That's no type of visual effects. That is real lightning causing that big of an explosion of light. This happens in real life. You know what? When you look at stuff like this, sometimes when you don't see it often, you oftentimes forget that this is a possibility.
There's nothing quite as awe-inspiring as lightning. It's equally terrifying and captivating.
Let me know if you guys can hear okay.
In this video, we've gathered the most stunning lightning... In this video, we've gathered...
Was that lightning that struck the... Was that lightning that struck the ground?
In this video, we've gathered the most stunning lightning strikes that will completely amaze you. Let's get it on.
Yo, Kratos! When you see lightning like that, that's when you get inside. You don't just look at it.
As natural lightning rods. That's why you should...
So, here's the thing. I heard this story. Of how there was a lightning storm outside. I don't know where it was from. I don't know if it was in Oregon or some other state. But there was a lightning storm going on, and these four dudes thought hiding under a tree. And mind you, dude just said trees are natural. Came right on time. The audio can be slightly higher, by the way. Are you talking about the desktop audio for the video? Because the video volume can definitely come up. If need be, I'll just push it up in Streamlabs.
Trees act as natural lightning rods. That's why you should park as far away from them as possible during a thunderstorm.
Whole door is destroyed. Now, mind you, it's not just the door, but it's the whole car itself. Dude ran away at the perfect time. He ran away at the perfect time.
Pigs have an acute sense of hearing, so the sudden crash of thunder can be extremely stressful for them.
Whoa! It completely blew up the tree.
Stressful for them.
A piece of the tree. Look at her house. Look at her house. Notice that she has like a lamp on the side of her house, like a light on the side of her house. A piece of the tree was launched so fast it took off the light, and that's the reason why you don't see it anymore.
Hearing, so the sudden crash of thunder can be extremely stressful for them.
Like, you see it right there? You see it right there, right above her head? That's her light. Now it's gone. Now it's gone, all because of a piece of wood flying in. And had she been taller, probably would have hit her.
For them.
Random cat outside.
If lightning strikes very close by, the thunder can be deafening, enough to make your ears ring.
今ですね、向こうの電柱にですね、雷が落ちましてですね、停電してしまいましたね。
Yep, that's why you get right underneath something.
When Cumbre Vieja erupted in Spain in November 2021, researchers witnessed volcanic lightning. This is a fairly common phenomenon during large explosive eruptions with high magnitude and intensity. A single lightning strike from a thunderstorm can stretch for kilometers, reaching places where the sky is completely clear.
Oh, he's laughing. He's laughing about it. Right in between the cars. How does one mentally prepare to see lightning strike right in between them? Nope, I bet you ain't gonna go out there now. I bet you ain't gonna go out there now. Cause they're like, oh, it's not that bad. It's just a little wet outside. It's not bad. Then you see a tree explode in front of you.
Oh, it's not bad. I'm gonna go say hi to Stephanie. Ah! Hey, I'm gonna go out and get some ice cream because it's outside. Ah! Hey, I lost my toy. It was over by that tree. Ah!
Literally, that's what that was. Nah, you stay inside. Anytime I see a house that's shaped like this, I immediately think of the house from The Incredibles. Put that down, put that down. Why would you think it's a good idea to be carrying a metal pole of any kind during a storm? You're just in fighting trouble. And this was almost 10 years ago. This is almost 10 years ago. It's going to be 9 years in a couple of days, too. I wonder if he still thinks about this moment.
Lightning takes the path of least resistance, branching out as it travels. That's why lightning often creates those incredible tree-like patterns in the sky. This is one of the rare cases when bad weather was a valid enough reason to cancel a soccer game.
No, go back inside. Go back outside. You wanted to enjoy the rain, didn't you? You wanted to enjoy the rain. Just go and bask in it. Who cares if there's a little lightning outside? Just enjoy it. I was
clouds are the only type
not
of
expecting
clouds
it to be that
produce hail,
close.
thunder, and lightning. So if you see dark, dense, and fibrous clouds, you know a thunderstorm is coming.
And it's the fact that when lightning strikes, it creates sound so massive that that's the thunderclaps that we know of. Yep. You can look at your phone inside. This gotta be a tree. I think it hit the tree in the background. Look at the dust.
2 bars left, dude. Oh, I got it! You get it? I got it!
Just the desensitization of being at a game where the stadium has no roof and then it starts raining and then there's thundering and lightning outside and then laughing and cheering as if that same lightning is incapable of blowing up trees and literally killing people. But you laugh at it though. You're laughing. Oh, it's all the way out there. It's not like lightning isn't part light and can't move faster than we can process a thought. It ain't gonna be like, oh, there's lightning over there. We gotta run. Literally, the word light is in lightning. And there's nothing humanly, physically faster than light. Why wait? Why chance it? Go home. At least if you drive and the lightning will hit the car and not you. What? No. I got
A single lightning strike is all it takes to ruin someone's evening plans.
the light.
Imagine it struck the tree. It If a lightning bolt struck the tree, would we be electrocuted?
Yo, Anime Gamer, good to see you. Where he going? Where he going? To go see who got struck? To see what happened? Let me run out there real quick to see what happened.
Bad storm. Bad storm.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you running towards the lightning? Like, I understand being curious to see where it hit, but immediately after? Immediately after, be like, oh, it struck over there. Let's go, Scoob. Let's find out what happened to the lightning man. Like, what? What you running over there? Maybe someone got hurt? Maybe. But I didn't hear nobody screaming. But then again, the audio isn't exactly 100% clear, so who knows? Maybe it struck something important. I don't know.
Today's airplanes are built to handle lightning strikes. The current flows through the exterior and disperses harmlessly into the air.
To see a plane get
That
struck
means
by
even
lightning,
if
though.
lightning hits the plane, it's perfectly safe.
I am so grateful that they built planes with that in mind. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Is that multiple lightning strikes in one place? The odds of lightning striking the exact same place. You see what I'm seeing, Kratos? It struck it not once, not twice, but well over 7 times. Even if I slowed it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That could have been 10 strikes. It could have been more because, I mean, lightning strikes lightning fast. I have never seen lightning strike that many places before, unless it was in a movie or a video game or maybe it was like a science project to induce lightning to strike a spot, to strike a specific spot. But I've never seen it strike a tree so many times. Doesn't even matter if it wasn't like full powered, blow the bark off of the tree itself type lightning. The fact that it struck that many places in so many times. It was. So the amount of times we saw it striking, it means it was striking the tree faster than this. The video is slowed down to show you how many times it was striking. Because if it was at normal speed, you would just see like brr, brr, brr. But in literally a second, it struck multiple times. That's the reason why this video is slowed down. and you see the smoke
When
coming off the
lightning
tree.
strikes a tree, it can catch fire from the inside, especially if the tree was already dry. The intense heat flash boils the remaining water, causing the trunk to overheat and burst into
Здоровое
flames.
дерево. Попала, видать, молния и загорелась. Горит уже давно, потому что полностью выгорело все. Но через какое-то время оно точно упадет.
If the musicians had known nature would bring its own special effects, they wouldn't have blown so much money on lasers.
Nah. Okay, that's perfect timing. That's perfect timing. That's really good timing.
The old ones used to have to sit in the middle of the tower, didn't you?
Why is there a concert during a storm? Very good question. The same question I had of why are people having a ball game in the middle of a storm? A lightning storm, no less. And then the people in the crowd were cheering. They were cheering. They were cheering. Woo! Yeah! America! Lightning! Electrocution! What? What you mean? And then there's people at like a concert, glow sticks and everything. Lightning! Like, huh? Huh? Do you see? Is this like the color grade? The color grade of the video camera? Because why was that blue? It has to be. That's an interesting color choice for the camera. Yep.
Oh my God, we caught that one! Oh! Wow!
Light is
Ravi and
874,000
CDs, it's good to
times
see you
faster
both.
than sound. No wonder the Huskies saw the lightning first and then got scared by the thunder, not even realizing where it came from.
I feel bad for people that see. I really want to see that though.
See what?
Lightning strike right in front of me. Like, not right.
Oh
The lightning bolt knew exactly where to strike. It found the tallest point and hit the spire of the Boston high-rise. This clearly shows why hiding under a tree in a storm is a really bad idea. Storm
Look at the tree in the back. Look at the tree in the back. One strike and the whole thing came down.
is a really bad idea. A really bad idea. A single lightning bolt literally blew the cedar to pieces. The color of lightning can tell you a lot about the air in the sky. The hotter the air, the brighter the flash. The hue depends on the atmospheric composition. Oxygen produces a blue tint, while nitrogen creates purple. Even altitude and moisture levels can affect the shade.
My eye itches, but I gotta see chat and you guys. I hate it when the corner of my eye itches.
A guy from Japan captured the moment lightning struck a telephone pole.
Like, just look at how fast that is. Look at how fast that is. Like, it's just instant. And you mean to tell me that firebenders shoot this out of their fingers? That's what you're telling me? They shoot this out of their fingers? You know for a fact Zuko, Iroh, and Aang were built different if they were able to catch that.
Из-за этого происходит как этот, между контактами, разряд.
This is what happens when lightning strikes a transformer and leaves half the city without power. Leaves half the city.
Whoa, the lights turned off instantly.
Without power.
Screen now, a viewer from Kingwood sending us this video of lightning striking a home last night.
That was such a stock thunderclap sound effect. Because you literally hear this sound effect used when Raiden shows up in the old Mortal Kombat movie. You hear it show up. You hear it when the X-Men infiltrate basically the White House at the end of X2. Such a stock sound effect.
Lightning striking a home last night.
As charged particles move through space, they naturally follow the path of least resistance. That's why an electric current doesn't travel in a straight line, and why lightning takes such an unpredictable shape.
Yep, take your behind back inside. What you need out there ain't important enough.
As a tree rots from the inside, its trunk becomes dry and brittle. A single lightning strike is enough to ignite a fire, one that can't be put out without professional help.
Brody, come here. You're pretty close, Jimmy. It's gonna fall toward you. Your chain's still tight? Come around here, Don.
Lightning always targets the tallest and best conducting point near the
Yeah, I was
charge
kind of
building.
worried about him working
That's why
around that tree too, and there was going to be
Transformers
another
often
lightning
end up
strike.
getting struck.
Picking up now. Here we go. Holy sh! Holy sh!
Oh, did you get that, son? Did you get that?
You see how fast the lightning moves? Note the building right here. It seems to be lined across the top with metal. It gets struck on the far left corner, far back corner, and then you see sparks come out the other side in that same instance. That's how fast it struck. Yep, you see it right there. I was about to say, wait, it struck again? But no, they did it in slow-mo, so you can see.
Lightning hit an electrical panel in Washington, and the dramatic moment was captured on camera as it surged through several power poles.
Yeah!
Get in this house right now.
See that person in the background? They smart. Get in the house right now! I saw something in the distance. I don't know if it was...
Holy f***. Got a good video right there. Something blew up.
There's another girl. There's another girl.
If I see lightning strike in front of me, I'm not going to keep walking around with an umbrella. I am going to go right back home and wait for the rain to stop, for the lightning to stop, so that I know it's safe. Y'all could just walk with an umbrella like, man, it's another Tuesday. I ain't got to worry about nothing. What? What?
Nature wanted to prove it knows a thing or two about lighting effects.
Perfect timing going right through that middle one.
Wow.
Subhanallah. La ilaha illallah. طبعا المكان اللي الحين مركز عليه الصورة هذا مكان البرقة طاير من فوق إلى هناك إلى الأرض. وجدني هذه الحفرة اللي فيها مثلا.
They were perfectly okay in the end, but they'll never set sail in a thunderstorm again. Slow motion footage really lets you see the full beauty and power of lightning.
Look how bright and easy. Look how easily bright this. Look how easy it can become bright.
I told you that. That's exactly what happened. I hope I got it because it's scared. There we go. Oh. Yeah. That was a transformer. That was a transformer. Flash picture. Like that.
Why was there like a second bit of lightning in front of the house? Was this cropped? It might be a reflection because the shape is exactly the same. Yeah, it might be a reflection.
When lightning strikes, the air around it heats up to 30,000 degrees Celsius, turning
It's not even talking about the actual lightning itself, it's talking about the air around the lightning. How much?
strikes, the air around it heats up to 30,000 degrees Celsius.
30,000 degrees to the air just around the lightning.
Turning into plasma. That's what causes the bright flash of light we see. Certain trees survive lightning strikes fairly well, but their metabolism suffers a heavy blow. Later on, these trees become vulnerable to fungal infections and might suddenly fall several months later. Not all lightning strikes go from clouds to ground. Some flash between clouds. These sideways strikes can cover huge distances. The record holder
Forgot
spanned
water,
a whopping 321
Can conduct
kilometers.
electricity. See, right here. First of all, sorry for my eyes closing there for a little bit of a moment. I was just sitting here getting all still, and then all of a sudden my mind wandered, and I'm all like, 3,000 degrees just around it, and yet somehow people survive getting hit by lightning. Which is why when people survive getting hit by lightning, they are looked at it like, oh, it was a 1 in a million that you would have survived that. Because just imagine for a second getting hit by something where the air around it is hotter than what the human body can actually withstand. 30,000 degrees. Anything over 3 digits. Let's be honest here. Because y'all remember, I believe it was like early this month, actually early the start of this summer. We had some over here, at least on the East Coast. I don't know how it was all for everybody else across the United States or even around the world. We had tremendously harsh heat waves to the point where it was on average the lowest point that we would see was like 80, 86, or even 90 degrees at night. at night. Those would be our lows. And some of the highs, I think the highs I saw for myself the last time I actually checked the weather when it was blisteringly hot outside was 114. No, I think it was 113 degrees outside. That alone can put you in a very, very, very dangerous position if you stay outside in too long. Heat exhaustion is far more real than it's ever been before. And that's just 100 degrees, just our simple 3-digit temperatures outside. This is 5 digits worth of heat just in the air around you. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, it's over. Okay. Okay, that was Cotton 4K, lightning going full rage mode. See, when I see lightning outside, I don't go near my windows. I don't go near my windows. I don't go outside. I don't care what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the next video. And it is yet another one sent in by Kitty. Of course it'd be a cat video. Yeah, look at the little voids. And the cat looking around like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Oh, also, this is Do You Still Want to Take This Train by Diorama Shokudo, Dioramas and Cats. You see the slow head rise? You see the slow head rise? Like, look at the slow head. Look at the head just going up slowly. They just love messing with the cat, huh? So apparently what I learned about cats recently is that when their eyes are really big like this isn't like them being in this isn't them being relaxed. This is them apparently being in their active, hunting, playful mode. When they're relaxing and chilling, their eyes look like slits. But when they're like, you know, got their attention on something and they're fully focused on it, their eyes get big like this. I was always under the impression that the bigger their eyes was, the more relaxed they were, and that them having like the slits in their eyes is them being, you know, either serious or whatever. But given how you tend to see so many cats with those slitted eyes and they're just either sunbathing or laying down, but here when they're very, very active, their eyes get like this. I learned something new. The only train derailment you watch? You and me both, because I don't like to see train derailments and accidents like that. I don't normally watch it. See? The cat with the missing ears? The cat with the missing part of its ear at the top, the missing right top tip of his ear on the right, that one is always the one most ready to throw hands. The other one's just watching, but the one in the back. And it's just a whole location where it's cats and trains. It's just a whole location where it's just nothing but cats and trains. Okay, and mind you, I am not a cat person, but even I can find them adorable at times. I will never get one. I will never get a cat. Because you got one time but to look at something on my desk and then knock it over and then hope that it breaks for me to put you outside and you ain't coming back in. Not that I would do that, but I'm not a cat person. But I understand the cuteness and adorableness. Next up, this is sent in by the community's very own seismologist expert, Rox, sending in caught on camera violent M7.3 earthquake shakes Santa Maria volcano volcano in Cam, Guatemala. Literally yesterday. This was yesterday. Literally yesterday. Just looking at the moment where an earthquake is capable of waking up a volcano. Yeah, the dogs know something has gone on. They know something was going on. So the thing that gets me about this particular not explosion, but earthquake is that all you can do is just look at a clearly slightly active volcano because there's smoke coming out of it. If it was fully dormant, there wouldn't be anything happening. But you see the smoke and plumes coming out of it, meaning that it's at least semi-awake. And when it comes to volcanoes, and earthquakes, all it takes is one wrong tectonic shift in the direction of a volcano for it to go off. Pressure builds up and then boom. So having a 7.3 Earth, and this was yesterday. This isn't like, oh, I feel like the people are going to be very careful in the future after learning about this. No, this literally happened yesterday at 8:51 in the morning. It's crazy, but also amazing, but also terrifying. Just what nature can do at a moment's notice. Just what the shifting of the world can do for one whole location. And mind you, we've clearly seen the effects that devastating earthquakes can have due to the fact that they are still looking for people in Venezuela. So it's like you see moments like this and then you realize that we've seen, and mind you, the Venezuelan earthquake that has pretty much taken over well over 1,500 people because there's still people missing. We've seen just how devastating earthquakes can be in a condensed area and widespread across other nations as well. So you ain't gonna hear me cheering for an earthquake. You ain't gonna hear me saying like, oh, that's so amazing because recently we have seen the effects of what this sort of thing can do to people and homes and an entire nation. So it's amazing to witness, but at the same time terrifying for its effect on people. And that was that particular video from Rocks. All right, onwards to the next one. Kitty sent this at earlier this morning and tagged me in it. We're going to be checking out the elephant's foot from Chernobyl.
200 seconds. 200 seconds next to it would lead to a relatively quick death, which is better than...
Also, this is The Elephant's Foot, Corpse of Chernobyl by Kyle Hill. Did I say what the last one was? Hold on. I don't think I said what the last one was. Hold on, let me pull up my history. Caught on camera, violent. There we go. Caught on camera, violent M7.3 earthquake shakes Santa Maria volcano in Cam, Guatemala from Afar TV. That's where this video comes from. Now back to the elephant's foot of Chernobyl.
Than many alternatives. Spend just 30 seconds near it, and dizziness and fatigue would find you a week later. 2 minutes of exposure, and your cells would soon begin to hemorrhage. 4 minutes, vomiting, diarrhea, fever. 200 seconds in its presence, and you would have just days to live. By the fall of 1986, emergency crews fighting to contain the nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant made it into the basement. They turned a corner into a steam corridor beneath failed reactor number 4 and found not steam, but black lava that had oozed out of the core, eaten through meters of concrete, and settled on the floor. The largest and most famous formation in the corridor was a 2-ton wrinkled mass that their radiation sensors firmly told them not to approach. With cameras pushed in from around a corner, the workers documented the dimly lit mass. According to readings taken at the time, the still hot portion of the molten reactor core was putting out enough radiation to give anyone within 3 feet of it a lethal dose in just 200 seconds. This is the true story of the elephant's foot. During a routine test on April 26, 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant experienced a power surge born of poor reactor design and human error, which triggered an emergency shutdown. The shutdown did not work. The attempt to manage the surge in power and alarming increase in the core's temperature caused an even larger power surge of 12,000%. Control rods that are used to manage core temperature were inserted too late. A gross safety violation, there weren't even enough control rods in the core to begin with. Their insertion into the increasingly hot core caused the rods themselves to crack and fracture, locking them in place. Heat and power output continued to rise until the water that was used to cool the entire reactor began to vaporize, generating massive amounts of pressure. The first explosion from the steam inside the reactor was large enough to send a 4 million pound lid of the reactor assembly through the roof of the building. The reactor now fatally damaged.
Listen to how much that thing weighed.
First explosion from the steam inside the reactor was large enough to send a 4 million pound lid of the reactor assembly through the roof of the building.
The explosion was so powerful, it moved something that weighed millions. Y'all ain't hearing me on this. Millions! See, the human body can only take so much weight to try and lift themselves. Even some of the strongest people in the world can only lift like a couple of pounds over their own body weight. But this explosion had enough strength to send something that weighed 4 million pounds straight through the roof of the building. And wherever that thing landed, I hope no one was underneath, because they would have been dead in an instant. 400 million pounds of pressure just applied to your body instantly. I don't want to think about it.
The reactor now fatally damaged, the remaining cooling water from broken channels seeped into the reactor as well, flashing directly into steam as it touched the soon-to-be glowing hot nuclear fuel rods. A second, even more massive explosion followed shortly after the first, belching core material into the air, spreading fire and radioactive ash. It is estimated that the fires that rage in Reactor 4 spread 400 times more radiation than the nuclear blast that wiped Hiroshima off the map. Over 160,000 square kilometers of Russia and Europe were eventually contaminated. With a glowing heart no longer shielded by tons of steel and concrete, the core could no longer be cooled. It began to melt. When you hear about a nuclear reactor melting down, it's not simply illustrative language. Without proper cooling, radioactive materials used as fuel get hotter and hotter due to their close proximity and continuous emission of high-energy particles. Nuclear fuel literally heats itself up until it melts, turning...
I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that the video wasn't moving while he continued to talk, I was starting to believe that something was wrong with my system. I'm hearing him talk, but the video's not moving. But
into what is arguably nuclear fuel literally heats itself up until it melts, turning into what is arguably the most dangerous substance on Earth.
Corium.
If you wanted to know what the most dangerous material ever created was, corium would be a good answer. At Chernobyl, the loss of coolant caused a meltdown of the uranium fuel, up to a third of which was scattered into the atmosphere. Estimates vary, but up to 160,000 kilograms of uranium, radioactive in many thousands of degrees, melted and flowed into the bottom of the reactor vessel. 8 days later, the flow had melted through the reactor's lower shield. Oozing through basement pipes, pooling in steam corridors, and eating through 2 meters of steel and concrete, the radioactive lava flow from reactor number 4 eventually cooled enough to solidify in the basement. Thousands of kilograms of molten uranium oxide, sand, metal, silica glass, and other materials, a composite monstrosity dubbed corium. In addition to being the world's arguably most dangerous material, it might be also the rarest artificial material. Corium is only formed in a nuclear meltdown. Corium has only been created accidentally 5 times. Once in the 3 Mile Island reactor in Pennsylvania in 1979, once at Chernobyl, and 3 separate times during the much more recent Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. Now I say accidentally created because there are scientists and engineers who study corium and create it on purpose. For example, this is a video of molten uranium oxide, like what would have been found beneath Chernobyl, bubbling and boiling at around 2,000 degrees Celsius at Argonne National Laboratory. Remember, this heat is self-generated. All by itself, corium can get half as hot as the surface of the sun. Corium is never pure nuclear fuel. Rather, it's a radioactive Frankenstein of fuel rods, fission products, the control rods in the core, concrete from the floor, steel from the surrounding structures, and the chemicals created when blazing uranium reacts with air, water, and steam. Here you can see a simulation of what corium actually does, easily disintegrating concrete as it escapes confinement. In the lab, corium is still terrifying but controlled and mesmerizing in a way that lava and its destructive capabilities can often be. It's almost beautiful. At Chernobyl, there was no such beauty. After the corium was done flowing, the result was an ominous collection of stalactites, stalagmites, steam valves clogged with hardened radioactive lava, and the large gray mass that would later be dubbed the elephant's foot. The elephant's foot could be the most dangerous piece of waste in the world. Of the 5 accidental corium creations, only Chernobyl's has escaped confinement.
Oh, right.
Radioactive atoms are unstable
When the
atoms,
air flowed
while
from
something like
Chernobyl,
hydrogen
it
is
carried all
just
that
fine with a
radiation
nucleus
in the
consisting
air
of a single
across
proton.
Russia.
Radioactive elements like uranium, the most common isotope of which contains 92 protons and 146 neutrons, are not so happy. Photons, electrons, protons, and neutrons are randomly ejected from the nuclei of these large atoms, transforming them until something like plutonium degrades over time into a stable element like lead. Particles emitted from radioactive atoms are a form of ionizing radiation. That is, they have enough energy to rip apart the atoms and molecules they crash into, changing how they interact with other atoms and molecules, ionizing them. Non-ionizing radiation, on the other hand, like the kind emitted by your cell phone, does not have enough energy to break atomic bonds.
And it's crazy because there are people out there that say, oh, this phone, I don't let my kids have phones because the radiation goes through the phone, it's going to affect my kids' thinking. And we just learned
Molecules ionizing them. Non-ionizing radiation, on the other hand, like the kind emitted by your cell phone, does not have enough energy to break atomic bonds. Ionizing radiation, then, directly causes the terrible symptoms of radiation sickness
there's some
by
really dumb
simply
people out there.
smashing through
I don't
want
want to use a phone because it has radiation in it.
DNA
No,
can be
the
repaired,
first
new
cell
cells
phones
can
had
be
it.
generated, but
These
with
are better.
enough nanoscopic damage, cells start to function irregularly or die outright, leading to cancer or
apoptosis. Hey, this is the name of one of the conflux auras that you can get in reeling. It's called volatile apoptosis.
organ failure, respectively.
I'm like, oh, hey, I've seen that word before.
Because of the way radiation damages human cells by knocking atoms and molecules out of place, death by radiation is a, relatively speaking, slow one. Fever, nausea, confusion, cancer, organ failure. Up to a point, over time, treatment does help, but extremely high doses of radiation, like the kind that would be delivered by close contact with the elephant's foot, are always a death sentence. The more radiation released from a mass of atoms, the more dangerous it is. Reports from Chernobyl estimate that immediately after formation, the elephant's foot was emitting nearly 10,000 Roentgens per hour. It only takes
I was about to say,
1/10
these
of that
moments
rate
where the
to
image
kill a
doesn't
person.
move or it's blank.
A single hour next to the elephant's foot would expose you to the equivalent of over 4.5 million chest x-rays all at once. Shortly after the Chernobyl meltdown, nearly 600,000 workers descended on the site to help contain the escaping radiation. Knowingly or not, many of these workers were making the greatest sacrifice. 134 were hospitalized with acute radiation syndrome. 28 of them died within months following the incident, and current estimates put the total number of deaths from related cancers due to the contamination across Russia and Europe somewhere between 9 and 16,000. After the nuclear fires at Chernobyl were finally...
I honestly hate it when there's a eyelash just on the edge of your eye, but it's also poking you. And when you try to grab it, it's like you didn't do anything at all. I can't stand that.
Controlled, a feat which took 9 full days, workers scrambled to contain the invisible dangers of the failed core. In May of 1986, construction began on the sarcophagus, a gigantic concrete enclosure built to seal off the radiation from the outside world. But the ruins would never be entirely contained, even after the installation of a much larger tomb in 2016. The Chernobyl sarcophagus is outfitted with access points.
So this is what they did to cover Chernobyl? I never knew this. I never knew they built something to try and contain the radiation that is still very present in Chernobyl. I never knew they built this. Is this real? Hold on. It is. It is. Check this out. The Chernobyl tomb refers to two massive protective structures enclosing the destroyed reactor number 4. The first, the hastily Soviet-built sarcophagus, finished in 1986, was covered in 2016 by the colossal New Safe Confinement, NSC, a 36,000-ton sliding steel arch designed to contain radiation for 100 years. Oh, and there's info on the Chernobyl nuclear power plant sarcophagus. Built in the aftermath of the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, the sarcophagus was designed to limit radioactive contamination of the environment by encasing the most dangerous area and protecting it from climate exposure. The sarcophagus locked in an estimated 200 tons of radioactive lava like corium, 30 tons of highly contaminated dust, and 16 tons of uranium and plutonium. Structurally, the sarcophagus is largely supported by the damaged reactor building. By 1996, the structure had deteriorated to the point where numerous stabilization measures were required. Internal radiation levels were estimated to be as high as 10,000 roentgens per hour in certain areas. Still, that's still enough to kill people. That's how much radiation is still there. In certain areas, normal background radiation in cities is usually around 20 to 50 micro-roentgens per hour, and a lethal dose is 500 roentgens over 5 hours. A lethal dose of 500 roentgens. That's how much it is. And it's still outputting enough to kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people. By 2017, the sarcophagus was surrounded by the new safe confinement structure, which is designed to protect the environment while the sarcophagus undergoes demolition and the nuclear cleanup continues. Okay, so this is just the sarcophagus. The new safe confinement is the new metal piece that goes over it. Aims, okay, so New Safe Confinement is a mega project that is part of the Shelter Implementation Plan and supported by the Chernobyl Shelter Fund. It was designed with the primary goal of confining the radioactive remains of Reactor 4 for 100 years. And it was completed back in 2018. Oh. But last year, on the 14th of February, during the Russo-Ukrainian War, a Russian Geran-2 drone attack significantly damaged the NSC. Both the internal and external layers were breached during the attack. This thing that was meant to contain the dangerous levels of nuclear radiation coming from this thing, it's been breached. It was breached last year. Oh, that is not good. Because if it's just exposed like that, then way more radiation is now coming out of it. If there's a genuine hole inside of the NSC as of right now, oh, that's not good.
Allowing researchers to observe the core and workers to enter. In December of 1986, researchers discovered the elephant's foot. It was a couple of meters across, over 4,000 kilograms, and put out enough radiation to prevent anyone from getting near it for more than just a few seconds. But despite the dangers, we have pictures like this one of the deadly mass. How? Well, from a safe distance, workers, or liquidators as they were called, rigged up a crude wheeled camera contraption and pushed it slowly and from around a corner towards the elephant's foot. This photo, almost never seen in discussions of the elephant's foot, was taken in 1990, 4 years after the incident. The slide the photo is on was given to a Dr. Bill Zoller at the University of Washington's Department of Chemistry. The caption reads, quote, "This is a slide I obtained from the Russians. It shows what is called the elephant's foot. The Russians obtained this picture by sending a man down there with a camera. He took one picture and then came back up. I was told that he died from the radiation he had received. This picture cost a man his life." End quote. When this photo of the elephant's foot was taken, 10 years after the disaster, the elephant's foot was only emitting 1/10 of the radiation it once had been. Still, merely 500 seconds of exposure at this level would bring on mild radiation sickness, and a little over an hour of exposure would be fatal. Another photo, a timed selfie by Russian nuclear inspector Artur Korneyev, is arguably the most famous and most disturbing photo of the elephant's foot. According to an investigation by Atlas Obscura, the ghostly image of Artur is likely not due to anything spooky, just the shutter speed, as is the time-lapse-like streak from the flashlight. But the graininess...
A single photo for his life is crazy? Yeah, it is. This photo alone just really did give concrete evidence that the elephant foot was there. Mind you, the people who went down there beforehand, it was all like, we saw something down there, but this man literally gave his life, exposed himself to dangerous amounts of radiation to get this knowledge out there. And mind you, he took one photo and came back. It wasn't like he was trying to line up the perfect shot like he was on America's Next Top Model or anything. No, he went down, got a photo, and left, and still died. Because the amount of time he spent down there just for one photo was still enough to kill him. It don't take you long to take a photo. It doesn't. But the amount of time he was down there was long enough for it to kill him in the end still. Human error can cause so much damage. Yes, it can. Error, ignorance, greed, it can cause so much harm. Greed, all these things will cause you to overlook things that you're supposed to be paying attention to. To the point where it's like, we don't want to observe all the safety protocols. Let's err on the side of caution. Or maybe we should wait to see if this is safe first. So many lives could have been saved. So many structures could still be here today. So many things could have been, so many bad, negative things could have been avoided if people just took the time to actually make sure that things were safe first. I don't care how long people have been doing things to the point where it's all like, oh, this just happens all the time. No, it's better to be cautious every single time rather than skip one day and that's the last day you're ever cautious again.
The graininess you see in the photo, that's from the radiation.
The reason why this photo looks this way is...
Graininess you see in the photo, that's from the radiation.
The reason why the photo is grainy is simply because of the radiation itself. It's not because it's an old photo, it's because the radiation is affecting it.
anything spooky, just the shutter speed, as is the time-lapse-like streak from the flashlight. But the gradiness you see in the photo, that's from the radiation.
Nope.
Over time, the elephant's foot has decomposed. It has puffed dust while its surface cracked, but more than 30 years later, it is still quite dangerous. In 2001, levels were measured that would give you a lethal dose of radiation in under 60 minutes. Extrapolating from how radiation sources degrade over time, today that deadly limit is probably a few hours, and today, the elephant's foot, once nuclear lava eating through the corpse of Chernobyl, is still hotter than the surrounding air temperature and environment thanks to the radioactive heat pulsing inside of it.
To this day, it's still hot inside. What? To this day, it's still hot inside because it's still reactive.
Lava eating through the corpse of Chernobyl is still hotter than the surrounding air temperature and environment thanks to the radioactive heat pulsing inside of it. Born of human error, continually generating heat in the basement of a failed power plant, the elephant's foot is still melting into the base of Chernobyl, albeit very slowly. If it hits groundwater, scientists still worry that it could trigger another explosion like the one that killed the core and lifted 4 million pounds like it was a paperweight, or it could leach radioactive material into the water that nearby residents drink. Long after bleeding from the core, this unique piece of waste continues to be a terrifying testament to the potential dangers of nuclear power, even though nuclear power as a whole is extremely safe. Until it is finally removed, if it ever is, the elephant's foot will be there for centuries, sitting in the dark basement of a concrete and steel sarcophagus, a symbol of one of humankind's most powerful tools gone wrong. Until next time. Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff at the facility for their direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video.
Kyle Hill. Kyle Hill. I heard that name before. Now I recognize him. He's a super smart long-haired guy.
Today especially, I want to recognize research assistant Jenny Dowd and visiting scholar Patricio Normanbuena. If you want to join the staff, if you want to drape on a silky white lab coat, talk every day with me on Discord, get behind the scenes stuff, and get episodes early, you can go to patreon.com/Kyle Hill and join the facility staff today. And hey, if you support us just enough, you get your name on Aria here each and every week. And as you can see, there's literally hundreds of you, so I have no idea how I'm going to
Yeah, that's something I do too, which is crazy, by the way. Thank you guys for being a part of that. That I can have credits that show my patrons and members on the channel. That is so cool. That is so cool. I never thought I could get to that point. So seeing him have all these people, I'm like, yeah, I got something like that too. It's cool.
I kind of have to take responsibility for this one. So I know it's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn or reading into it, but my essay in 2013 about the elephant's foot on Nautilus got millions and millions and millions of views, the most read thing they ever had on their website. And I believe, looking to Google search results and trends, that bringing the elephant's foot back into public consciousness was kind of my doing. So I'm part of the legacy too, which is fine. Hey, look at us. Thanks for watching.
Boy, do I hate it when I get mosquito bites. Especially when they be itching for a long time. That gets on my nerves. Okay, so that was the elephant's foot. The corpse of Chernobyl. The fact that the amount of radiation it still outputs to this day, still enough to kill you if you spend too much time around it. And the fact that it's still slowly melting into the entire reactor itself. It's still melting in there. And if it touches water, it has the ability and potential to basically cause another explosion again. Tony, good to see you. All right, now, since we watched that, let's see what else is there. Okay. I think we reacted to everything that people have sent in. Yeah. Yeah, we reacted to everything that people wanted to send in. Now it's time to check out some other stuff. So, let me pull up some stuff. There's a new Wolverine trailer that came out. Of course, due to the nonsense of Sony, pretty much anything that PlayStation puts out by extension of Sony, it is always met with people saying, physical disc this and physical media that. And I understand the discourse. The fact that Sony has not responded to this clearly genuine public outcry is crazy, by the way. But I want to check out the Wolverine trailer real quick for the game coming out. So let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Now people are memeing something from the about something from the trailer as well. Hold on, let me see. Best trailer yet. Look, Insomniac knows how to make some flawless looking trailers. They really do know how to make some really good trailers. Hold on. Stop it. I want the people to see too. All right, Marvel's Wolverine Ain't No Hero trailer. Insomniac, Marvel.
I've lived long enough. It's all started to blur together.
But the Blade game, though? Whew.
Every fight. Every death.
Sabretooth coming in. No one gets to kill you but me.
I can feel it slipping away.
Fighting the hand. And Lady Deathstrike. I was not expecting Lady Deathstrike to be in this game. Then you got Logan and Jean.
There won't be anything left except the rage.
Yeah, I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait to play Wolverine in September! Ah! That's PlayStation's subliminal message. They're basically saying they ain't no hero. Nah, don't read too much into it. PlayStation ain't that smart. Lady Deathstrike came out of nowhere, literally. So it looks like she just jumped off the bridge, but I'm like, why would you wait that long? But then again, this is something she would probably do.
Left except the rage.
PlayStation.
Yeah, the trailer's amazing, but I can understand people's discourse about PlayStation right now. And really, I really think that people are people really need to maybe focus. And mind you, I understand people's discourse. I'm of the mind of physical media. This darn mosquito bite. I gotta stop touching it. I understand the discourse behind Sony's very boneheaded decision, very stupid and ill thought out, misguided even decision to end physical media for their consoles, but still expecting people to play their stuff if everything just goes digital only, and that does not bode well in the terms in the grand scheme of things. But I feel that now you saw how Wolverine was protecting the photo throughout the trailer. People are saying Wolverine should have paid a subscription and uploaded the digital image to the cloud. No, because Wolverine holding on to the photo is literally all of us as the players holding on to our physical games, never to let them go. And if something happens to them,
Rage.
Literally this. Wolverine is all of us right now. You try and take away that which we cherish. You try to take it away from us by force, and people are raging. This is literally, Wolverine is literally the player base right now. The entire time we see that photo being put in danger, and Wolverine and Logan literally trying his best to hold on to it and not let it go, and people keep standing in the way. Wolverine is us, and the person standing in the way of the photo being protected is literally Sony and their decision to get rid of physical discs. Now, mind you, you could say that about any company right now. Wolverine is Xbox players, and Xbox are the ones trying to keep them from literally enjoying Xbox while they keep making bad decisions, or they keep laying off people. That's literally that. You could put it in, or Nintendo. People are trying to enjoy all their games, but Nintendo keeps creating new remakes, but with no upgrade path, and expecting people to go like, well, you can't transfer your save from this old game into the newer version, or the more upgraded and better version that plays better on the Switch too. So we're going to need you to fork over a good $60, $70 again to spend another 150 hours grinding and doing whatever you did in the last game, because we don't offer upgrade paths. It can be literally any company right now. And Wolverine is his whole behavior towards protecting what he cherishes is us protecting what we cherish. Wolverine is all of us. So if anything, Wolverine fighting hard to hold on to something he can physically have is literally all of us fighting in order to be able to hold on to our Final Fantasy games. Mind you, this just came in earlier today. No, it came in earlier this week. So I got Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, because I want to have all of the Final Fantasy games on physical. I want to have them all on physical. And I believe that Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate should be arriving next week for me. So I want to have all of the Final Fantasy games on my shelf. So when I get Revelations, I can say that I have it and it's right there for me. Nothing wrong with digital, but a digital-only gaming future is not ideal. Because remember when they tried to do digital-only gaming with Stadia? Pepperidge Farm remembers. And now Stadia is dead because cloud gaming and digital-only gaming is not the future. I don't care how... Now, mind you, with PC is an exception with Steam, but PlayStation trying to go digital-only, it is a very foolish decision. Despite the discourse that's happening, I am still looking forward to all of the games I will be playing on PlayStation. I can look forward to the games that is coming out for PlayStation and still call PlayStation idiots for making these dumb decisions that is going to already negatively affecting them. I can call them idiots for that. But I can also still play the games as well that are on disc and still say, hey, I'm having fun with these games, but still dumb. Did you see the trailer for the Wuthering Waves animated series? I did not. It's so cool to have a collection of a game physically. It's like a prized possession of us throughout our lives. Yes, I still... Let me show you something I have that, to this day, I really do cherish. Now, mind you, this is one thing that is PlayStation related. Let me get it. These are some of my old PSP games. Patapon 3. Patapon 3, I'm literally aiming it over here, but the camera's right here. I'm sorry. This is Patapon 3. This is Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, my very first Metal Gear Solid game. And this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Full screen, please? Oh, right. Forgot. Yeah. Yeah. Patapon 3. Peace Walker. And Birth by Sleep. These are some games that I cherish. And mind you, the games are still in here. They're still good. Like, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Physical evidence. Physical. This is what it means to own a game. And I also have the digital guide for Patapon, but I don't think the code will work anymore because this... When does it say this will expire? When will it say? When does it say it'll expire? How long is it good till? This came out in 2011. That's how long it's been. But this is what it means. This is what it means to own, like, physical media in its truest form. And also, yeah, the PSP discs were crazy, like the covers for them. The covers for them looked amazing. Birth by Sleep had a nice one too. Yeah, all of these were good. And I take care of my stuff. I take care of all of my stuff. And earbuds are falling out. Hold on, we'll get back to it in a sec. Dissidia Duodecim. This is yet another one. That I greatly enjoyed. The art was good there too. Now, that's just PSP. Give me a sec. Like, there's something authentic about physically having your games with you. Sure, you can have it digital, save some space on your bookshelf, but having games like God of War, Resident Evil 4, and Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, having games like this that you can have available to you. Mind you, I got the other God of War as well. And I have Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta on PSP as well. But there's something about owning the games and saying that you have them physically that completely changes how you view what you possess. Now let's take things back further. This is the space. This is the container where I keep my Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games. This game is mine. I own it. It's me. It's mine. It's not like you can say like, well, we're no longer producing SSX3 on the Game Boy Advance. you can no longer play this game. No, I have it. It's mine. I can play it whatever I want. I'm still wondering, how did we even manage to get a Proud Family game? But Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3. It's crazy. Crazy that there are individuals out there, higher ups, that think that not having the game physically available to the person is better in the long run. It makes no sense whatsoever. I got PlayStation 3 over here. I got Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. I got Skyrim. I got Jak and Daxter Collection. I got Mass Effect 2 and 3, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, One Piece Unlimited World Red. All of these games that have either been delisted or no longer available in stores. Games that we could easily get, and they said, like, well, we no longer want to pay for the rights to have this game available to people, so let's just go ahead and remove it from our store completely. That's the reason why I missed out on the chance to get the Deadpool game on PS4. That's the reason why I missed out on my chance to get the Transformers War for Cybertron and I believe Fall of Cybertron, which released as well. It's foolish. Sony isn't changing course, then they're idiots for not changing course. They're idiots for not doing so. Because all they're looking at is not the ease of what makes it better for players. They're literally looking at how much money can we save and have for ourselves if we just go purely digital. Because I don't hear anyone complaining about, oh, these games cost too much to put on a disc, put in a case, and then put it out there for people to buy. All I'm hearing is we can save so much money for ourselves if we just cut out the middleman entirely, make everything digital, and that's better for us without even caring about how it affects the people that have allowed our company to exist for this long. Because literally the other half of Sony is not just, media and entertainment. It is literally gaming. Literally the other half of their business is gaming. We wouldn't have PlayStation without Sony. But now they're forgetting that they wouldn't have sold as many PlayStations without players. And now they're just saying, hey, those things that you supported us with for God knows how many decades, like over 20 or 30 years, I want to say 30 years. All this time, yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of some of the things that many of you cherish to have on your shelf. And they say they're going to stop in like spring of 2028, which means that I have from now everything that comes out in 2026, everything that comes out in 2027, to have it as something to have on my shelf. Because I don't think I'm going to go to the next generation of PlayStation based on how little they care for players' opinions on such a very controversial move for their entire business model. So, and I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be all dramatic or everything, because the cost of gaming now has gone up and consoles have gotten way more expensive now. Ever since I got my PS5, which was $500 at the time, the price for it has gone up. Games have gone up in price. Controllers themselves have gone up in price. Things that would normally be affordable for people to be able to play more games and buy more games have become way more expensive now. Yet the thing that gets my attention is you're cutting out the middleman because you're trying to save money, but you're probably going to make these games just as expensive as they always been, despite the fact that you're eliminating the whole physical aspect of it now. So I probably won't be going to the next generation for PlayStation. I'm probably going to stick with PlayStation 5 until they say, like, hey, these games can only run well on PlayStation 6, and we won't be making some older versions for them, like the way, because recently, Dying Light, for people who bought Dying Light 2, Stay Human, if they were playing on PlayStation 4, and they got like the Ultimate Edition, they were promised to get the Dying Light Dying Light the Beast standalone add-on for free. And recently, the makers of Dying Light said, like, yeah, we're not going to be able to fulfill that promise because there's simply too much for it. So those of you who spent those Ultimate Edition dollars to get the Ultimate Edition to play Dying Light the Beast, we'll just give you a refund because we've made the difficult decision to not continue with actually making it for older consoles now. So until we get to the point where they say, like, well, we're no longer making any PlayStation 5 games for the PlayStation 5 and we're going to focus on the next generation, that's probably where I'm going to cut it off. At least they're giving a refund. No, you're right. You're right. It's sad that the people who have bought the Ultimate Edition just to play Dying Light the Beast won't be able to play it at all. It's nice that they're getting a refund back for what they are losing, because not every company is all like, oh, well, we made a mistake, let us go ahead and correct it. Not everyone is humble, and not everyone is humble enough to say, like, yeah, we made a mistake, so let's compensate you for it. Like, look at EA right now. They got a college football game going on right now. It's a single-player game, and it's got tons of microtransactions in there. They've changed settings. So to make it so that you would have to literally spend 150 years worth of your life in order to max out your coach's XP, because they literally turned it into an eternal grind, but also made it so that you could buy some things from them in order to speed that up, which has basically been EA's MO ever since Ultimate Team has been a thing for their games. So no, not every company is conscious enough to go like, you know what? We're really messing this up for players. Let's do right by them. And those names are becoming less and less and less. I'm grateful Insomniac says, yeah, our Wolverine game, it's going to be on a disc. Now, it's crazy that this is such a pivotal but also very disheartening moment where developers have to audibly say out loud, our game is coming on a disc, to avoid being seen as like, hey, they're not releasing their game on a disc, you might want to skip them. That's pretty much the narrative a lot of people are rolling with right now. All because of Sony's dumb decision. Now, anyone who says, hey, we're not releasing our game on a disc, is going to be digital only, is going to be looked at with a side eye now. Those who say they have a disc, not a dish. Those who say they have a disc are looking at it like, yeah, that's awesome. But it shouldn't be like this big major clap moment for something that has always been normal. Every company will eventually be all digital. We'll see. Not every company is going to be successful with digital only, though. There's only so much you can do digital, so every company will eventually be digital seems extremely foolish. But that's just me, though. But that's a Wolverine trailer. I'm looking forward to it. Doesn't have to be all digital. It's not like the book industry or the movie industry is going to go digital. They still going to produce discs, print books, and etc. And you know what's crazy? We have movies. We have books. We have all sorts of different things that are digital, but they still produce physical of it. And it's meant to preserve this media in a way that, so that if anything digital vinyls as well. Music is still produced in a way where you can get them on vinyl, still get them physical. So how come Sony gets a pass saying like, hey, we're going all digital, and no one's enforcing them the same way that things are being enforced to make sure that movies are not just strictly digital, they can be physical as well, like home releases. So it makes you wonder, how come Sony gets a pass? But I digress. But let me see. Gajil sent me something. Oh, nice. We got the suite from Spider-Man's Brand New Day that Gajil had sent me. We're not going to listen to it though because it's copyrighted music and it's more than likely going to get flagged. But let me see. So Wolverine is definitely going to be fun. I'm definitely going to enjoy it, but I am also going to be getting it on disc as well because I want it sitting up there next to Spider-Man. Same for Control. Doing the same for Disgaea Mayhem next week. There's really nothing in August coming out that really has my attention that I'm looking forward to gaming-wise, so August may be a bit of a free month for us to just chill and relax before we hit it again in September with Wolverine and Control. So that's currently on the radar. Let me check and see if there's anything new. Can't wait for Wolverine and Control 2. Kratos, that's what I'm saying. Both games look amazing. Like, the gameplay for Wolverine was already has my attention. I can't wait to mess with that. But Control Resonant is by far one of my most anticipated. Look at the comment section in the Wolverine video. Oh, I have already. And it's all just people saying, I can't wait to get my physical copy. 100% only going to buy this physical. Can't wait to get it on physical with my disc. At least this game will actually be able to sit on the shelf. Someone saying that play has limits. Game looks spectacular. Will 100% get it on the disc. This will run great on my physical disc that I own. Wow, so cool. I can't wait to buy the physical copy of this game. The feeling of holding this game disc will be like no other. At least I get to have a physical copy of this game. I can't wait to get the physical copy. Can't wait to get my physical copy and bring it home. Can't wait for my physical copy. Buying this physical for sure. I'll definitely buy it on physical media. It's going to be great to buy it on disc. The heroes who watch this trailer in less than 5 hours should assemble here. He can feel his physical copy slipping away. We want physical discs. Looks great. Can't wait to buy the disc. I'm so excited for this game. Buying the disc, of course. Can't wait to buy this on a physical disc. I'm definitely buying this on disc. Greed has no limits. That's where we're at. So, and the thing is, because of Sony's poor decision, they can't market anything without people jumping in the comments saying like, hey, forget you. Forget you, Sony. We want discs. Literally, they cannot advertise anything on social media without people saying, like, give us our discs back or anything. Pretty much people who are looking forward to whatever they're advertising, especially when it comes to games, it gets drowned out by people constantly spamming and copy-pasting their disdain for Sony's decision. And apparently, it's actually been harming a lot of distributors and publishers who give Sony money to advertise their stuff. And instead of people looking forward to what they're making, all they see is people saying like, forget Sony, we want our discs back. And people who are looking forward to their games and stuff is buried underneath those comments. We still have enough content for Relink and Wuthering Waves to do in August. Hopefully we'll finish them all before September. Mind you, Relink, I've been working on it. Well, I already have my finale. Mind you, I still have Infinity Quest to go through, and pretty much the reason why this stream was kind of pushed back to 1 o'clock was because I was fighting the Infinity version of the world. And I beat him, which is why I had to push the stream back. Tried to fight Beelzebub, I lost that fight. But family's calling in. Give me a sec. All right, let me get back to this. You grinding like crazy right now? I've been working on... I got Fediel to the point where she is incredibly tanky. At this rate, we might be able to sneak in God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus. That is right. We could sneak that in there. We could have a moment where I run through God of War Ragnarok on New Game Plus. Because it's still probably going to be a while before we get God of War Lao Fei. But playing Ragnarok on New Game Plus would definitely be nice. Developer companies are hesitant to pay Sony now for paid promotions because no one cares about the games and are just spamming disc emojis. Yeah, and I get it, but at the same time, I kind of would like to see like-minded people looking forward to games and stuff instead of Sony just making these very bad decisions. I wonder if it's going to affect game sales. It's already affecting PlayStation Plus sales. Yeah, because people are saying that because you don't want to go back on this decision, we're going to be ending our subscription to PlayStation Plus. I'm keeping mine because I play with my friends. I play with Godjill, I play with Chris and my bros and everybody. I play with them. I play with them. I use it. So I'm see, and this is where it puts you. It puts you in this position of, if you don't like what Sony's doing, you should not be supporting whatever whatever is linked to Sony. But me as a gamer, I want to play with my friends. So I'm not going to be the crowd that says like, oh, they're not giving us discs, I'm ending my PlayStation Plus subscription and everything. Like, no, I'm using that. I'm using that. I'm not getting rid of it just because Sony's making dumb decisions. I'm not going to put myself in a bind playing with my friends just because we're kind of in a rock and a hard place. I see it this way. I can still take advantage of Sony, even though I'm paying them to play multiplayer. I can still use that stuff and still call them out on it. What are they going to do? Refuse my money for this subscription? No, they're going to take it. And therefore, they're going to take my words and disdain for their dumb decisions. You ain't taking my money for free now. You getting words that come with them. But, like, I'm still going to use stuff for my PlayStation. I'm still going to buy games for my PlayStation. And it's not because I support Sony. It's simply because I want to support the developers that make these games. So I wouldn't say we're in a hard, we're kind of like a rock and a hard place. It's more like I'm doing this to support the devs, not to support Sony. That's all I can really say to it. But I don't, to be honest, if not for online play, not a lot of people would discontinue their subscription. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Because the only other thing that PlayStation Plus offers is like free games every month. And pretty much the fresh games that we got for this month are all garbage. Like, there's literally nothing interesting in the free games we got for the month of July. Like, I looked at them and I rolled my eyes. I'm like, and plus it came literally on the back of Sony's big announcement earlier this month. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing really here. So hopefully August will have a better selection. But as it stands right now, if it wasn't for the online play being locked to PlayStation Plus, I probably wouldn't even have it. Because it was free on PlayStation 3. It was free then. But if it wasn't for online multiplayer being locked to PlayStation Plus, I would not have it. And if we lived in the timeline when PlayStation gave free PlayStation multiplayer for people to play their games on, I mean, we wouldn't even need to worry about a PlayStation subscription. But I don't want this whole last half of this stream to be just nothing but me calling out Sony and their dumb decisions. I would rather talk about things that actually make me happy. So, before we go, Wuthering Waves. There's a video out right now, apparently. Wuthering Waves Elysium animated series reveal. And this was 5 hours ago, so I'm kind of curious about it. So we can check that out. Okay, Cardathea. Hold on. I know what's causing the video to run slowly. IGN's website be chugging your CPU so much just from the website alone that I can't watch a video and have that site up at the same time because it literally eats up RAM. Just the site itself, because they have so many ads playing on the website! There we go, now it's smooth. Imith! Yang Yang! Jinshi! Wuthering Way. Okay, hold on. Oh, snap. So we got Cardathea Fleur-de-Lis, we got Imith, we got Shin, we have Yang Yang, and we have Jinshi. What do you mean the Sentinel of Mengzhou is gonna be in this series as well? What you mean she gonna be in here too? Wuthering Waves animated series reveal, stay tuned. Okay. Also, I tried pulling for Yang Yang last night, lost the pity. So from this point on, I am just gonna build up my resources in order to get Shin in the middle. I want to get the Sentinel Fox Lady. If I can't get Yang Yang, I want her. Mind you, all the other resonators look real cool, especially the one that can summon. I think her name is Xingqiao. I think her name is Xingqiao, if I'm mispronouncing her name. She's the one that has all the giant swords, and she helped us out when we were fighting the Puppet Master guy. She looks cool, but I want to get Shin. I want to get her. A playable Sentinel? That's still insane. So I want to get her. So I'm going to save up my resources until it's time to get her. I'm not going to use any of my tides that I get from this point on, even though I used them in order to try and get Yang Yang last night. Any that I gain, any resources that I gain, any extra that I gain is just going to go towards building up towards her. And I'm not going to be like the guy that saved up literally 5 years worth, or no, not 5 years worth, but more, like countless amounts of updates later, like 14, I think it was like 14 updates worth. I think it was a 14. Yeah, 14 updates worth of asteroids to get Lucy and Rebecca, only to find out that you needed like a separate currency in order to get them. So yeah, I'm going to save up, do what I need to do, clear environments. And I am pretty much done with Jinzhou when it comes to side missions. I still got companion quests that I need to do. We still need to do the segue that happens after. Well, we have like some more stuff to do in Mengzhou after the events of the 3.5 story we just did. We'll definitely have some moments where we can mess with it and continue those missions as we move forward. But a Wuthering Waves Elysium animated series. Literally, look at this game. This game could have launched and just been another run-of-the-mill gacha, probably fall into the wayside, buried underneath Genshin, and then NTE, and then Duet Night Abyss, and all these other gachas that exist right now, but it didn't. It not only beat the odds, it is thriving to the point where they are doing so well that all of their updates and their quality of life updates are good, and they're doing so well that they are capable of making their own animated series. That's how well they're doing. So that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, that is going to get a like from me because I like Wuthering Waves. Glazing Kuro Games is the reason why this heart still beats. For all the time we said just make an anime at this point, we just can't stop winning. It's true. The Gamers Absolute Cinema, Kuro Dev Cinema, eh? I got a great idea. Yeah, but Wuthering Waves is really doing well for itself. It's good for all kinds of players. People who like to whale on the game, and people who just happen to play free to play, as I do. It's really good, and I'm glad I've been covering it. But I think that's going to be a good amount of time for me to call it because food is on the way, and I want to be able to eat it when it gets here. So everybody, I just want to say, see, good decisions and good content, good reception. That's all it takes. It's not hard. It's not hard. If you find it difficult to make good decisions that benefit not only yourself, but the people around you as well, then anything you say about that is an excuse. Looking at you, Sony. If you're looking at what you're doing and it's beneficial for yourself and also the players as well, you made a good decision. But if it isn't, you need to take a step back. And if you ignore it, you brought it on yourself. You brought it on yourself, and you don't have anyone to blame but yourself. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to call it for today's People's Choice video selection for today, for Saturday. I need to go ahead and start letting people know in the members list that it's time for them to have like a special reaction for themselves for the next Saturday, as is what I tend to do every other Saturday, aside from People's Choices. So I'm going to get in contact with them for the next person up in the list. And I had fun looking at, lightning and how truly dangerous it is and how amazing it is, terrifying it is. Earthquakes, and including one that just happened yesterday. Cats and trains. Nice and therapeutic after watching all the destruction we witnessed earlier on. But good session. And checking out the Wolverine trailer with all of you, because Wolverine is about to be very good, along with Control. And me thinking of the stuff I'm going to be doing for you guys in August, which is not far off, because if I look at the amount of weeks we have left, we only have one more full week of July, and then the week after that, July ends on the 31st on a Friday, which works for me, so that way I can do my One Piece reflections and on a good day, and then we can have People's Choice directly after that. But I'm speaking ahead. Everyone. Kratos, Tony, who else was here? I know Ravi was here. I know Griffith was here. Ramil was here. I think I saw an anime gamer as well. CDs. Yeah, everybody who showed up here today, I just wanted to say thank you for making this such a resounding success of a People's Choices stream. I'm looking forward to the next one that we do. I gotta remember to move my microphone closer to me so that I am not out of audio focus. But I had a lot of fun with today's session, and I'm looking forward to the next one that we do. And I will let you guys know earlier, because I forgot to do it earlier in the week, to put in your video suggestions, so that way we can watch some more stuff for you guys. But that's all I got for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my membership and Patreon, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!